The name Mercury comes from a Greek term meaning the swift messenger of the gods.
Cold, I swear.
Mercury in miles is 35,983 million 95 miles away from the sun.
The diameter of Mercury is 3,032 miles.
The surface temperature of Mercury is 800 Fahrenheit to negative 300 Fahrenheit.
Mercury has no moons.
The time Mercury takes to go around the sun is 180 days. Mercury has no atmosphere. A day is 1,407 hours and 30 minutes. There is no single person credited for discovering Mercury. Mercury rotates slowly on its axis. It completes one rotation every 59 Earth days. Mercury has virtually no atmosphere. It, however, has small traces of an atmosphere, which consists minute quantities of hydrogen, oxygen, sodium, potassium, and Mercury has no moons. Mercury is the first planet in our solar system. Mercury is the innermost planet in the solar system. It is also the smallest, and it orbits is the most eccentric of the 8 planets. When Mercury is facing the sun, the temperature can be over 400 degrees, and when it is not facing the sun, the temps drop to 170 degrees.
The Hubble Space Telescope can't see Mercury because it is too close to the sun. The sun rays on Mercury are about 7 times stronger than on Earth. The surface of Mercury is very similar to our moon's. It has a very barren rocky surface covered with many craters. Mercury has a low surface gravity. Mercury has no atmosphere, which means there is no wind or weather to speak of.
If you were to stand on the surface of Mercury, the sun would look 3 times larger. The second visit to Mercury was by the Messenger spacecraft. Mercury can only be seen early morning and in the twilight. Mercury has a neurotoxic that can attack the human's nervous system. Mercury is the most iron-rich planet in the solar system, with an iron core like Earth.
Venus. Who discovered Venus? Galileo, but we do not know for sure if he discovered Venus, because Venus can most likely be discovered by a caveman. It can be seen with the naked eye before sunrise and after sunset, so there wasn't that much discovery that needed to be done.
The small amount of energy from the sun that does reach the surface along with the heat, the planet itself releases the greenhouse effect has made the surface and lower atmosphere of Venus one of the hottest places in the solar system. Why should Venus and Earth not have a hot atmosphere, thick atmosphere, and sometimes it's called the Goldilocks phenomenon.
Venus is the second planet from the sun, and is Earth's closest neighbor in the solar system. Venus is the brightest object in the sky after the sun and the moon, and sometimes looks like a bright star in the morning or evening sky. The planet is a little smaller, and it's similar to Earth's inside. We can't see the surface of Venus from Earth because it is covered with thick clouds. However, space missions to Venus have shown us that its surface is covered with craters, volcanoes, mountains, and big lava. The surface of Venus is not where you'd like to be, with temperatures that can melt lead and atmosphere so thick it would crush you, and clouds of sulfuric acid that smell like white snakes.
Venus is known for its enormous size, being the evening star. You can see it just before sunrise and just after sunset. Its thick atmosphere being the hottest planet, having toxic yellow clouds. It is named after the Roman goddess of Venus, being right next to Earth.
What is the diameter of Venus? Venus is about really warmer than it. 752.8 miles away from the Earth or the Sun.
What the surface temperature of Venus is the average temperature on Venus is about 464 Celsius or 67 degrees Fahrenheit.
It is this hot because it is the second planet from the sun and has what scientists call a runaway greenhouse effect, a thick layer of clouds. Venus has no moons.
Earth is our home, and here's some interesting facts about it. Did you know that Earth is not exactly a sphere? It's actually squashed at the equator and bulging at the poles because it's called an oblated sphere instead of it actually being a round circle like we all thought it was. Did you also know that Earth, 70% of Earth is water, and the rest, 30% of the rest of Earth is land? Let me just think facts about Earth. Earth is the only planet in the whole universe that we know at this time that has life on it. No other planet in the universe has been discovered with life on it.
Who discovered the planet and when? Nobody really discovered it since humans are most likely the start of life on the Earth. A long time ago, when the first mammal probably arrived on Earth. The planet's meaning is most likely came from Mother Earth from many mythologies. It means ground or soul. The distance of the planet from the sun is about 92,960,000 miles away, the third planet from the sun. The diameter is 7,918 miles. The surface temperature is average at 70.7 degrees Fahrenheit. The numbers of moons is only one moon, but satellites it has about 3,000. The Earth's atmosphere extends out 10,000 kilometers. A year on Earth is not 365 days. It is actually 364.25 days, which causes every 4 years to be a leap year. Earth doesn't actually turn in 24 hours. It rotates on its axis. It takes actually 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4 seconds.
Scientists discovered that Earth is 4.6 billion years old. From the surface to the center, the depth of the Earth measures 3,963 miles. The Earth is made up of iron, oxygen, silicon, magnesium, sulfur, calcium, aluminum, and other trace elements. Unlike other planets, Earth has only one natural satellite, the Moon.
That the diameter of Mars is 4,212 miles. It takes Mars about 687 days to orbit the sun.
The surface temperature on Mars is negative 63 degrees Celsius. Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos. Mars is the site of Olympus Mons, the second highest known mountain in the galaxy and the highest known volcano on a planet. We're done.
This is Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. It is so big. It is so
circular cloud of deadly poisonous gases surround Jupiter. A quick spinning of the planet whips up most of the atmosphere, creating the bands around the planet to orbit Jupiter. If you were descended into Jupiter, the thin, dark fog, into the blackness cloud 1,000 kilometers down, the pressure squeezes the atmosphere so far that it could build like the globe.
The diameter around Jupiter is 86,801 miles. 881 miles. Scientists do not have the exact number for the various temperature on the planet, but at the upper edge of the cloud of the cover, the temperature is thought to be negative 145 degrees Celsius. On Jupiter, the temperature increases because of atmospheric pressure. So as you descend, temperature increases. Not far into the atmosphere, the pressure is about 10 times what it is here on Earth, and the temperature is thought to be about 20 degrees Celsius, or average room temperature for Earth. Descend further and hydrogen becomes not enough to turn into liquid, and the temperature is thought to be over 9,700 degrees Celsius, the planet's core. Scientists do not think that the temperature could be as high as 35,500 degrees Celsius. Temperatures could be as high. Jupiter is over 480 million miles away from the Sun.
Actually, it's not the solar crystal discovered John. Knowledge of the planet leads to less ancient civilizations realized that the planets were separate entities from the stars. Jupiter is actually the third brightest object in the sky, so it's possible that humans observed it before organized science or even civilization was formed. Jupiter is a Latin name which literally means the supreme god in Roman mythology. Jupiter is the sky god equivalent to the Greek god Zeus, and is also known as the king of gods. He is also the father of Mars. Lightning bolts are thought to be messages from Jupiter to mortals.
It has about 62 moons. There are 4 moons named Io, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto, are known as the Galilean satellites. These moons were discovered in 1610. The largest moon is Ganymede. Ganymede is larger than Mercury and is the biggest moon in the solar system. It is 3/4 of the size of Mars. It is the only known moon to have its own magnetic field.
Jupiter is 26 steps away from Earth.
Saturn was first discovered by Galileo Galilei in 1610. Saturn is the second largest planet and the sixth from the Sun. Saturn has been known since prehistoric times because it's easily visible to the naked eye. The Romans named Saturn after their god of the harvest time. Saturn's rings are extraordinarily thin, though they are 250,000 kilometers. Adorned with thousands of beautiful ringlets, Saturn is unique among the planets. All 4 giant gas planets have rings made up of chunks of ice and rock, but none are as spectacular as and as complicated as Saturn's. Like other giant gas planets, Saturn is mostly a massive ball of hydrogen and helium.
There are 53 natural satellites orbiting Saturn. Saturn was the Roman name for Chromions, the lord of Titans in Greek mythology. Saturn happens to be a root word of the day Saturday. The average distance from the Sun is 885 million miles. Saturn has at least 62 moons. Saturn's diameter is 72,000 miles.
It takes 29.5 Earth years to travel around the Sun. Saturn's ring system is the most expensive and complex in the solar system, extending hundreds of thousands of kilometers from the planet. To rotate Saturn's axis, it takes 10 hours, 40 minutes, and 24 seconds to fully rotate. Saturn is covered with a thick atmosphere made up of hydrogen and helium. Saturn has the lowest density of all the planets. In early 1980s, NASA 2 Voyage spacecraft revealed that Saturn's rings are mostly made of ice and water.
Uranus is the seventh planet in the solar system. William Herschel discovered Uranus on March 13, 1781. Uranus has a ring system, a magnetosphere, and numerous moons. It has the third largest diameter in our solar system. The distance from Uranus to the Sun is 1.79 billion miles. Uranus is the only planet that spins on its side. The Greek term Uranos means the heavens, which is also the name of our seventh planet, Uranus. Uranus's atmosphere is made up of methane, hydrogen, and helium. Scientists believe there may be a huge ocean. The rings of Uranus are made up of
40 years. The average temperature of the planet Uranus is 49 degrees Kelvin or negative 224 degrees Celsius. Uranus has 27 it takes 30,685 Earth days for Uranus to orbit around the Sun. Uranus is the only planet that has a vertical ring around it. Uranus is a blue-green colored place.
This is Neptune. Neptune is the most distant planet. Neptune has a radius of 15,299 miles. The diameter is 30,777 miles, which is 4 times larger than Earth. The surface area is 7,618,000,000 kilometers squared. The distance away from the Sun is approximately 2,798,000,000 miles. It was discovered on September 23rd, 1846. Neptune is the smallest of the gas planets.
Neptune has 2 moons, Triton and Nereid, discovered by Dr. Galen, Urban, Lee, Barron, John Couch Adams, Johann Galen, and Henrik Loss. Neptune has the strongest wind in the solar system. It is about 2,100 kilometers. The temperature is 38 Kelvins or negative 235 degrees Celsius.
Neptune is the coldest in the solar system. Neptune's moon is Triton, and it is even colder. Its atmosphere is composed primarily of oxygen and helium. Neptune has dark-colored storms in its atmosphere that is similar to the Great Red Spot on Jupiter.
Neptune has only been visited once. NASA's Voyager 2 spacecraft, the Voyager 2, made its way to Neptune on August 25th, 1989. It also visited the moon of Neptune. Shortly after its discovery, Neptune was only referred to as the planet exterior to Uranus, or as La Verre's planet. The first suggestion for a name came from Johann Galileo, who proposed the name Janus. Another proposal was Oceanus. Urbain Le Verrier, who discovered the planet, claimed the right name to his discovery, Neptune. Soon Neptune became the international accepted name.